Good morning. Today we are going to discuss volumes and snapshots of EC2. So before starting that, do you have any doubts from previous sessions? Please let me know. Okay. All right. I'm starting my machines. So to start these machines, go select the instances, go to actions, and then go hit start. These instances will be started. Here at the left hand side, under elastic block storage, you can see two options. One is volume and one is snapshots. Let us discuss a little more about this. So here we have two volumes. Volumes are nothing but hard disks. Okay, it is similar to hard disks. These are not hard disks. Okay, so these volumes are attached to those machines as a drive. Okay, for the two machines you see here, these are the instance IDs of the two machines. Let me show you. See here. See, these two volumes are attached to these two machines. One is POC Win App B, and one is POC UBD Web-A. Okay, the volumes are attached as dev SDA1. Dev SDA1 is root volume for any machine by default. Please remember the naming convention. So these are the disks of these two machines. So the main part is, how do we actually take backup of these disks? Okay, if something fails, how do we detach and attach those disks to particular instance? Let the instance start. It is still checking. Status check is initializing. Okay, so I'll do one more thing in the meantime. This is my RDP client from my Ubuntu to connect Windows. So I'll give these details here. New connection. This is just similar to my remote desktop in Windows, because I'm on Linux, right? So I'm using this Windows. So depends on your connection type. You have to select this. My thing is RDP. If you are practicing from Windows, you can simply use your RDP. Okay. Here I'll give server name. Sorry. And here administrator is my username. And for password, I have to hit connect here and get choose. Where did I save this? Yeah, this is my PEM. So I have to choose and decrypt to generate my password. So this is the password. Now I'll give the password here. There's no domain. So here you can select color depth, which you like, but I'm selecting true color 32. Okay. Then I have another tab, advanced. I don't do anything, and in SSH. Okay. Now I'll save this first and I'll connect. Okay. So I'm connecting to my Windows from my Ubuntu machine. Okay, so to test this, I'm creating few folders. Test one, and also few files. Test one. Test two. Okay, these are the files. Right. So think this way that I have done some work and I have some data on this disk. Okay, I have some data on this disk. I have some data on this disk. So my disk got failed, for example. Then what I have to do? Okay. First of all, the backup in AWS is like creating snapshot to the volume. Okay. So I'm in Windows. I'm on Windows machine. These are my disks. So when I hit this volume, I'll go to volume section here. So this is my volume. Or you can simply hit volumes. Okay. So my volume got selected. If you want to search or sort out, if you can say Win, I got my Windows volume. So in real time, you may have thousands of volumes. So in order to sort it out, you can simply go to EC2. That is the best practice without any confusion. So you'll simply go to your EC2 instance and click on this and click on the volume ID so that you will be taken to this volume sections with the volume. So here what I have to do is I have to take snapshot of this. So create snapshot. Okay. So I'm creating snapshot like this with my instance name. Please let me know if you are not able to follow me. Instance name, date is 15th May 2017. Okay, description is after creating test files and folder. Okay, whatever you can write up to what level your volume is. So then I am creating a snapshot. So this is snapshot ID. Remember that snapshot is created incrementally. That means, um, that means for the first time it creates entire disk, entire volume as a snapshot. From the next time, sorry, it is differential, not incremental. From next time, it takes only the change happened to that volume, but not entire thing. Whenever you want to retrieve that, it will collect all the snapshots and creates a new volume. Okay. So now it is in progress. Now it is in progress. So let it be. In the meantime, we will do some more stuff to our Linux machine. Let me connect to our Linux machine. This is my Linux machine. So I want to connect to this. Drupal. Sorry, to terminal. SSH-I AWS my PM. So whenever you use it, right? SSH command, SSH-I and path to your PEM file from the current working directory Okay, my current working directory is this home J. Under home, I have AWS directory. Here it is, and inside AWS directory, I have PEM file. So SSH-I AWS, my PEM, Ubuntu user, and this is the IP of my machine. Okay, I logged into my machine. So here, if you want to check how many disks are attached, you can simply check with this command. Okay, these are the this is the main file system, which is 10 GB we attached that day. Okay, and 1.2 GB is used and 8.5 GB is available. So for example, yeah, this is okay for operating system. This is the root volume. That means it has operating system installed on it. But if you want any additional space for your applications or any data, you want to attach a new volume. Right. How do you attach that additional volume to this machine? Okay, let us check now. Okay, so now I'm going to create one volume. Remember that we are creating one snapshot. It is still in progress. Yeah, I think it is completed. Okay, let us complete this volume attachment first. Don't get confused. Uh, till now, just leave whether we have created snapshot or not. Now we are going to attach one volume to the Linux machine. Okay. Okay. So for that, what you have to do is you have to go to volumes and create volume. Here you have few options. Let me open this EC2 in another tab. So first of all, there are few things you need to notice before creating volume, unless you cannot attach those volumes. First of all, check which availability zone your server is in. Okay, this is the availability zone. If you don't create your new volume in the same availability zone, you cannot attach that volume to your machine. That is the first point you have to remember. Even you will be asked this in your interviews as well. Okay, you cannot attach a volume which is in different availability zone than where your server is in. So you cannot do that. So create volume in the same availability zone. So as I said, you have three different types of instance types. Okay, and I'm going for general purpose. I don't want to give 100 GB. So see, up to 16 GB. I think this is TB, 15 TB. I think so. Up to 16,384 GB, you can give the size to volume. So now I'm using only 10, and depends on your availability zone. You have to select the availability zone of the instance that you want to attach this volume to. Okay, then create. So here I give a name because I cannot recognize unless I give a name. Web A volume 2. Okay, so yeah, my volume is available. If you see this blue dot and available, my volume is available. If it is already attached to any machine, it says it is in use. So what I have to do is I have to attach volume in instances. I have two instances. Okay, see here, notice here. Instance in availability zone US West 2A. If you select 2B, you will not find any suggestions like this. So I'll attach this volume to Ubuntu. This is the naming convention. For the root volume, it is /dev/sda1. That means it is root volume. For additional volumes, it gives like Linux devices dev sdf through dev sdp. So at the end of this naming convention, you can have f2p. So sdf, sdg up to p. Okay, those many volumes you can attach. So I am attaching. I think my session got expired. Let me connect again. So actually my disk got attached. Let us check in EC2. So if I refresh this, you can see here my disk got attached. Okay, now how do I use that? How do I use that? See here it is not showing up. For that you need to mount that disk somewhere. Okay, so first of all, what I am seeing is, let me check if I am able to see that disk. Disk FNL. Okay, so here if I see this, this is my main disk. Here the naming convention will be little different. Instead of SDA1, XVDA1 will be there. So remember that this is your SDA1, and here DF, this is your additional volume which we attached now. Okay, so now what you have to do is you need to make file system first, because volumes are same for all the operating systems, but the file systems are different. For example, if you are using Windows, the file system will be NTFS, New Technology File System. Okay, but for Linux, it is EXT, EXT4. That is the latest one now. Okay, so first of all, you have to make file system. Okay. MKFS-T EXT4 and your disk. So that means it will format this volume to ext4 file system. Okay, now it got formatted. Now what you have to do is create one directory, for example mkdir mount and volume 2, for example. Okay, I created that directory. That directory is on the disk which is attached. It is in root volume. Now I want to mount this directory, um, mount that volume to this directory. Okay, let me check. The command is mount dev xpdf to mnt vol to fnt ext4. So these are the parameters we need to give. So mount is the command, and volume to mount, and what we say, the folder which we want to mount the volume to, and -t is type of file system ext4. Okay, now we hit df-h. Now you see here volume is mounted. So whenever you browse mnt and vol, there are no files now, so you can create files here. All the files will be created in this volume. You got my point? So this is how we mount it. And one more thing, whenever you restart this machine, the mount, you will lose this mount. There is one file where you need to create a entry for this to make it permanent. Okay, now I'm creating this. So what is that? Just a minute, I need to read that because let me open this in different terminals. This is the same kind of terminal, there is no difference. So are you able to see the font size, or you want me to increase it? Fine. So what I'll do is ssh-i AWS my PM equal to paste. Okay. All right. So now what I'll do is I'll edit. Actually, I'm using this tool to open the different terminals at the same time. There is no difference between normal terminal and this. Okay. So I'll use Vim editor, FS tab. So what I'll do is here dev xvdf mounts to mnt vol 2. Okay. ext4 is my file type. Defaults 0 0. Okay, I'm saving this. I'm saving this. Now, actually, why I'm giving this entry is that the main reason is whenever you use mount command, right? Whenever you restart your machine, the mount you will lose the mount. Okay, but if you add that entry in FSTab file, it will be automatically mounted checking this FSTab file whenever you reboot your machine. That is the advantage. Let me unmount this and check. Now my file system got unmounted. Okay, you see only one volume. This entry is not here. So now added this. Whenever you hit mount -a, it will check from FSTab directory which volume to be mounted to which folder, and then it mounts. Normally this command will be executed while you are booting your machine. Okay, so now I'll again check. So I got my volume. Is that clear? Do you have any doubts up to here? Please ask me. Is it something confusing, or if you have any doubts? What we have done so far is we just created a volume and attached using few Linux commands. These are very basic commands. Okay, and in order to make that mount permanent, you need to add this entry on your etc FSTab file. Okay, so it is done for now in Linux. Let us check how to attach a volume to your Windows machine. Now what I see is I have created the volume, and now I'm deleting these two files. So I have created snapshot. That means I have created a backup of the volume. It will be like a mirror. Okay, now here I'm creating I'm creating a file inside test1, which is not there in the snapshot because I'm doing this after creating the snapshot. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm shutting down the machine. Where it is. Please make sure that make a habit of writing proper comments whenever you are shutting your system down, so that you can remember later, and when someone is auditing your machines, it will be more clear for them why you shut down or restart your machine. So I'm stopping. So now what I'm going to do is I have lost my files. I deleted few files. So I have snapshot, and how do I retrieve my files from that snapshot? So that is what I'm trying to do. So what I'll do is now I will create a volume from this snapshot. This is the only snapshot I have. So I'll create volume from this snapshot and detach the existing volume from the machine and attach the new volume, which was created by the snapshot. So now I'm creating this volume. Remember that you have to create this volume in the same availability zone of your instance. So in this case, if you want to increase any volume, you have to mention here. So you cannot directly increase your volume size. Instead, you have to take a snapshot of your volume and create a new volume. Then only you will get option to increase volume size, so that you can increase the volume size and create create a new volume and attach it. But remember that it is very bad practice to increase volume size for the root volume, because root volume has operating system. Sometimes it will not work. So make sure that you have adequate volume size whenever you are creating an instance, and attach an additional volume for your data and any other applications. Okay. So now I'm creating the same with 30 GB of space. So my volume is getting created. So this is for Windows, right? Okay, my Windows instance name is app fna from backup. Okay, you can give any name that you want, it doesn't matter. Okay, now the volume got created, and here instances. Now I'm going to detach this existing volume. I'll go to volumes. Okay, this is in use, that means it is attached. Select the volume, go to actions and detach volume. Okay, as detach. Okay, this volume is still now it is available, so you can it is already detached. Okay, now what I will do is I'll go to instances and check whether it got detached or not. So if you see here, you don't have any root or block volumes. So now what I'll do is I created this. So now I'll attach this volume to the instance. So this is my instance. I'm attaching it. It will take the naming convention like this. It doesn't matter. So attach. But that is Windows. For Linux, it should be /dev/x. I mean uh, SDF or G. Okay. So now I'll check here. For instance, I'll refresh. Oh, sorry. I made a mistake. Let me detach and attach it again. Detach volume. The naming convention should be dev SDF, SDF1, because this is root volume. Then only it will understand it is root volume. Okay, so you have to go here, attach volume, select instance, and here you have to give like dev SDA1. Otherwise, it will not be recognized as a root volume. Now instances. So now it is root volume. Let me start my machine. Remember that whenever you restart your machine, right, your IP will be changed. That is why we use elastic IPs. Okay, elastic IPs is very expensive, but normally for any server that needs a public exposure, for example, Apache server, in that case, we use elastic IPs. So see now, this IP got changed. This IP go, oh, yeah, it is 189, but it is showing 169. So I need to edit this and change the IP. That's it. So you see here, you have these two files. Actually, I deleted these two files. I deleted these two files previously, but I removed that volume and attached this from snapshot. And also I created one file inside test1 folder, but this is not here. So are you able to follow me, or do you have any doubts or questions up to here? Okay. This is how you attach or detach. Let me summarize first. In Linux, what we have done is we attached a volume as an external volume, okay, and we mounted it to some mount point, which is a folder created on that machine. Okay, is that clear? And you can do the same stuff what we have done for Windows, for Linux as well. You can detach and attach root volume or any external volume and increase the volume size. Okay, and for Windows we have done the same thing. We have a root volume and we created few files and took a snapshot, and after deleting the files we detached the volume and attached. Okay, now let me tell you how to attach volume to Windows machine, how to mount it. Okay, let me create one volume. Oh, sorry, let me create one volume for Windows. So I'm creating only 10 GB volume. Great. And let us check how we can attach that volume to Windows. Okay, volume for Windows. So now I'm trying to attach this volume. See, remember that for volume attachment or detachment for any Linux machine or Windows machine, you don't need any restart required. Okay, this can be your interview question, but remember that we are not restarting anything to attach or detach volume. So this is additional drive. It's okay for this naming convention. So this got attached here. But where do you check in Windows machine? Can anyone tell me where to check whether you are working with as a Windows admin, or if you know something like that? So you need to go. Okay, here you have disk management. So how did I see here? I have one more disk added. You see in the background, disk 0 is my root volume and disk 1 is my new volume. Okay, so here it says initialize your disk before logical disk volume can access it. Okay, so there are two partition types here. One is a master boot record and one is a GUID partition table. Okay, so this GPT is for more than 2 TB disks, and now my disk is very smaller, so I'm selecting master boot record. Okay, okay. So now my disk is online. So what I have to do, that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that my disk already attached. For any raw disk, this is my raw disk. For any raw disk, what you have to do is you have to format that in order to use that. Okay, so I'm creating simple volume. So I'm using my complete volume as one disk. If you want to partition in between like D and E, two partitions for this volume, you can do that. You can try for yourself. But I'm using the same. But I want you to try to create multiple partitions from the same volume, because maybe in your case you may have requirement like that. If you have any doubts, please ask me. I'll definitely help you. Okay, so this is my direct drive name, so I want to use it as a D drive, and then I'll go, and this is my Windows volume. Okay, so Windows volume is an NTFS partition. Okay, not FAT, NTFS partition. So I want to I want to format this to NTFS, and I give a name extra drive, and I format this disk. Finish. Now my disk is being formatted. Now my disk is ready. If I check here, I have my disk. You got my point. For after attaching, whenever you attach a disk is called a raw disk. You don't have any partition. If you attach the disk to your Linux machine, you have to partition as per the Linux format, which is ext4, and if you attach it to Windows, you have to format it to NTFS. Remember that. And then you have to mount it to one point in Linux, and you have to create simple volume by right clicking on that, select simple volume, and it will be created. Is that clear? Do you have any doubts? Please ask. Okay, one more thing I want to discuss is creating images, AMIs. Okay, what is called AMI? It is Amazon Machine Image. These are AMIs. You don't have any custom AMIs for now. When you launch your machine, when you launch your machine, you select AMIs. These are AMIs. But actually, you can create your own AMIs installing your applications from the base instance. For example, I have, I mean, I have an Apache server installed on my machine. For example, here, oh, session got expired. Anyways, Apache server installed on. Yeah, I already have Apache server installed on my Linux machine in last session, right? So let us check once. Instances. Yeah, I have already installed Apache on this machine, but whenever I launch a new machine, I don't want to install Apache again and again. For example, you have so many applications installed on a machine, and you don't want, and so much configuration you have done. Okay, uh, for example, for it took you 15 days or 2 weeks. Then again, you have to do the same step for another server. It is time consuming, right? You don't need to do that again for that machine, for new machine. So what you have to do is you have to go here, instance settings, sorry, images, and create image. So this image is my web AMI. Okay, so I'm creating this image, and here it gave two options. One is root volume and one is another volume. So these are the two volumes which you have done now. You attach the extra EBS volume. Okay. create. So this is the AMI. So it normally takes some time to show up here. Yeah. Now my AMI is being created. Normally, make sure you give proper date and date for this image so that you will understand at what time you created this AMI. Okay, normally it takes time for AMI. So AMI is nothing but, it is not volume snapshot. It is more than that. It creates entire entire machine image, and when you launch that, it will be launched. Even see, there are two types when you are creating a new machine. You can also take a snapshot of your existing machine, and whenever you launch a new machine, you can detach the root volume and attach this machine. But that is very painful. And if you have multiple volumes, you should do you should snapshot each volume and attach all the volumes, creating a new from that snapshot. But images gives the flexibility that when you take an image, it will take image of entire machine, including your volumes and log. Okay, my AMI is available. Now I want to launch a new instance. You can launch from here, or you can go to here. Okay, new instance. So these are the images, but I have my own image here. Okay, I'm selecting my own image, and I'm going for the default options, and my availability zone is I'm creating my second web server on availability zone B, so that if one availability zone is not accessible, people can access from my um, other availability zone. Okay, roles, stop behavior, product accidental termination. And in the previous case, we have run this user data like a script to install Apache, but in this case I'm not doing anything because my volume has already there. See, now I got the additional volume as well because I don't need to do any stuff here. I have additional volume, and this will be mounted automatically because it is coming from the image. And tags. So my naming convention is like this: UBD web -B. Sorry. So I'm going to security group, and I have already there this security group allowing port 80, and then I launch the machine. I use the same key. Okay, you have two options. Either you can use different key, create a new key pair, or choose from the keys are available. If you have to, it will list all the key pairs here. You have to select one, but I am using the same. You don't need to create key pair all the time. See, now my server is being created. Why is it showing two of two checks? I don't know. Anyways. Actually, this time to create AMI depends on the data on your disk. Okay. But don't confuse that it is not working. Normally it works. Okay. Now we will check whether this server is up. Yeah. Apache is also running on this machine. So my application is already there. So what you have done, you have not installed any Apache manually. Let us connect to this server and check whether the mount is already working or not. SSH-I AWS mypem Ubuntu @paste. df518. See, my mount is already there here as well. So everything you have will be uh, here, because the only thing you have to do is you have to create one image from the existing server, and then uh, you simply create one volume. Sorry, launch a machine from that image. Okay, that is it for today. Do you have any doubts up to here? Okay, fine. We will check auto scaling tomorrow. Okay, there is I think there is a last thing we will check on this. We will check load balancers and auto scaling tomorrow in EC2. So tomorrow we will end auto scaling. I mean, sorry, EC2, and we will start RDS, VPC, Road 53. Okay, we are having I mean few more sessions on AWS. Okay, so don't miss any session, because these are very important topics. Okay, thanks for your time. If you have any doubts, please let me know. And one more thing, I have shared you all the videos till yesterday.